myself as a tech, just like you are, a lot of you are, I assume, I know. And I'm going to talk about how to get over imposter syndrome as a tech. मेरो एउटा पर्सेप्सन चाहिँ के छ भने तपाईँहरू पनि धेरैजना टेक ब्याकग्राउन्डबाट हुनुहुन्छ भन्ने पर्सेप्सनमा छ है त को हुन्छ टेकबाट ए ल बब्बाल त्यसो भए I've worked in tech for long enough त्यो कारणले गर्दा I can relate to a lot of things I'm going to talk about today. Have you ever been in a room अथवा in a conference, in a hackathon where you feel that everyone else around you knows exactly what they're doing, but you have no idea about it. You have no idea about why you are in the room. Have you been in that situation? Yes, congratulations. Because everybody has been in that situation. Somebody in this room or in a conference, in a hackathon, they might be talking about AI. Somebody is talking about their GitHub profile having 10,000 commits in a year. Somebody will be talking about agentic workflow. And then we start self-doubting ourselves. Okay, all of these are prepared. They know what they're doing. But me, myself, I don't know what I'm doing right now. And that is what we're going to talk about today. And that feeling has a name. It's called imposter syndrome. And that feeling comes from the same self doubt that we all have when we cannot realize our own outcomes, our own achievements. We build something truly, and that is also been seen by the people. That's why you are in the conference or a hackathon, but deep inside you know your pain points, you know your process, you know how messy it was, how difficult it was. And in the other hand, you see other people and you see their success. You see they have come here with a story to tell, with a product they have finished. That's what you think. And that's what makes you doubt yourself, that maybe you've not done enough towards building your own image or building your own product. And then that's where the imposter syndrome starts. This term imposter syndrome comes from two psychologists who coined this term as imposter phenomenon in 1978 when they did research on real people with real achievements. Those people with achievements could not accept the fact that they had achieved something, and instead what they thought was, maybe I've just fooled people, I've just tricked people into believing that I've achieved something. And that arises from the feeling that you do not trust in your own achievements because you do not believe in the proof of your own achievements. So in the other spectrum, there is a word called OJ, where people do not do anything, they have no proof, but yet they believe they have done everything. So these two things are in two different spectrums. And one of the reasons how this comes is also because we're comparing our private confusion with somebody else's public conference. What this means is we ourselves know our story. We know the process that we've been through. We know the fact that to solve a very small coding problem, for example, could be a missing semicolon, could be a double semicolon, could be a wrong variable name, could be anything. And then we've been stuck trying to debug it for days. We know that pain, we know that process that we've been through. And we look at other people. They share great stories. They share the LinkedIn profile that says marketing maestro that AI cannot replace. And we believe in that. Whereas that person knows that's just other words for I'm unemployed. They do not tell that in a public conference. They just put that link in bio. But we compare our own process, our pain points, our failures with their achievements. And that's where the gap lies. That's what I mean by telling private confusion that is all within you because you understand yourself, versus public conference of somebody else where they portray a completely finished image of how they should be or how they are. And in tech, everyone looks ahead, but everyone feels behind. There's a reason behind that. In tech, I work in tech. It's been, I don't know, almost 2 decades I've been working with tech. So I know for a fact that every other week a new AI model comes. You are working with Cloud Opus 4.7, And then Gemini launches 3.5 Flash, which is supposed to be better than Opus 4.7. And you believe that, okay, I was working with the greatest AI model that exists, and the other guy says, oh no, that's outdated. Google already released 3.5 Flash, which is cheaper, which is faster. You are stuck in the old era. And then somebody else comes. What ID do we use? I use VS Code with Copilot that you just learned yesterday. And then he says, oh, that's old school. Nowadays, even Linus Torvalds from Linux uses anti-gravity by Google. That's cheaper, faster, and solves problem with multi-agents. So this is a normal thing in tech today. There's always new product coming. There's always new things happening. It's moving so fast. In fact, technology today is moving faster than anything else in this whole world. So that's why we're always behind technology. The best we could do is, we cannot know everything, but the best we could do is we can try to learn new things. I once asked myself, this is a real question I feel every single time when I'm going to introduce to people. That's why today, at the beginning, I told you I'm a tech. But if you look at my bio first, my bio says UZ Cakes. It's a bakery. And then I question myself, am I really a tech? Am I really worth coming here at the TED stage and talking to technical students just like I know everything about tech? Is that even fit? Am I even fit in this room? That's a question I ask myself. I've asked myself a lot of times. But then I realized that tech is not just about coding or a laptop or wearing, I don't know, techie dress. I don't know if this is the techie dress. Jeans, half t-shirt, half pants. That's what we see with Mark Zuckerberg whenever he goes to a conference to present new products. Tech is not about presentation. Tech is not about just having a laptop, coding, typing fast, talking all these words like agentic workflow, DBMS, data cleansing, TTL, ETL, whatever you want to talk about. That's not all tech. That is a part of tech, but that is not all that tech is. Tech really means solving real problems of real human beings. Could be business. You could help a business sustain its daily operations through building something for them. Could be something else for human beings, making their lives easier on a daily basis through things you build. That is actual tech. That's affecting real lives, problem solving real problems and helping organizations run operations smoothly every single day. And that's what I did at UZKX. I build products, I build systems that helps UZKX run their business every single day. And not just the company itself, it helps the consumers track their orders, it helps the consumers place their order, monitor the order, file the complaint, get a refund. It helps the business employees, almost 40 people working every day, know what to do with their work, know the responsibilities well, and that is helping them perform well in their own business, in work, and helping people alike. At the same time, helping the company itself to scale beyond what was possible. And today, I believe I actually fit in here. Not because I could code 24/7, but because I could use technology, I could leverage technology to build something that has affected lives of so many people every single day. So, as I said, I could break free from this imposter syndrome. And today I want to tell you how you could do that too. This is a real problem that every single person, be it a teacher, be it a student, or be it an employee, will always face it in some point in life. So the first thing to do is, don't wait to feel ready. That is because a lot of times we are told, be prepared before you start. Make your idea perfect before you begin. When you have an idea to build a product, there will always be people who will tell you, will your idea succeed? Will your idea make money? Is your idea even feasible? There will always be questions like that, and that will drain down your confidence. So don't wait to have that confidence built into you. Instead, start building things that you think you can. Because confidence is not an input, it is an output of the actions that you take today. Your actions will build confidence into you. So, trying to get ready before you can start is always going to haunt you in the long run. The next thing is always build proof and not perfection. That is because a small project, be it no matter how small, a finished small project is always better than an unfinished perfect idea. So when you start chasing to build something that's perfect, chances are that you'll never build it in your entire lifetime. Because 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, you realize, okay, that's not profitable, it's not feasible. You're shutting down immediately. But instead, if you start working on smaller things, solving small problems, building smaller projects, helping out your friend build something, helping a community build something, that you can actually produce output, then that's possible for you to build it. And at the end of the day, to overcome the imposter syndrome that we've been talking about, you have a solid proof. Maybe your GitHub profile with 20 commits, maybe a small project that automates something, or maybe a help that you did with a friend, or maybe a resource paper that you wrote with a friend, because that proof will always going to stay there. And whenever you doubt yourself, you can look back, okay, look this, I've done this. So that means I'm not an imposter, because I've actually built something, and here's the proof I can believe in. Just like I can believe today that I built Yuzi Cakes to be one of the best automated bakeries, not just in Nepal, in fact, in the whole world. That I can look back today and I can say, who says I'm not tech? I am tech, because the tech I built is changing lives every single day. And the final thing to do is change from I don't know to I don't know yet. I'm focusing a lot on this yet because in technology or in the world today, because world today is whatever we want to say is driven by technology. There's nowhere technology has not touched, or even AI has not touched. So the first thing to do is, instead of saying I don't know, start saying I don't know yet, because that leaves a room for you to improve tomorrow. That leaves you an open space that you can learn, you can adapt, and you can grow yourself. And one more thing, you when you are working with technology, IT, you don't always have to be the loudest, the smartest, the bestest in a group, because nobody is. The world's top engineers, they don't know about a lot of things. There are a lot and lots of developers that are still working in PHP 7, and there's another mask that says PHP is dead since 25 years. So that's why world class developers, world class designers, top CEOs, nobody knows everything. Nobody is the smartest, but they're always open to learning things. So, when you follow these things that I told you, in the future, right now, you may not be able to realize this, but in the future, when you look back in time, then you will realize, just like me, I realized today, I was not an imposter. You were never an imposter, but instead, you were just growing. You are just outgrowing yourself. Courage is continuing when doubt sits right beside you. Thank you so much.